Episode 2, The Bow of Love and the Meeting of Souls. The years, they slipped by like petals on a gentle stream, didn't they? Rāma grew, not simply in stature, but in grace, a grace that mirrored the very stillness of the divine itself. He was a sunbeam contained within a human form, radiating warmth and compassion to all he encountered. But even amidst the joy of Ayodhya, a quiet preparation was underway. A preparation not for kingship, not for war, but for love. For the Mahagrantha reveals a truth often overlooked. A sovereign's duty is not merely to rule, but to become a vessel for prema, a conduit for divine love to flow into the world. And Rāma, my beloved Rāma, was being prepared for precisely that. It was then that the venerable sage Viśvāmitra arrived at Ayodhya's gates, a being steeped in spiritual power, but also burdened by a sorrow. The forest, you see, was not a hardship for Rāma. It was a deepening. Each challenge faced, each demon vanquished. These weren't victories of strength, but offerings of love. Each act of protection was an expression of his inherent compassion. The Mahagrantha whispers that even the demons themselves were touched by his presence, their negativity momentarily dissolved by the sheer potency of his prema. And then, Mithila, oh Mithila, a city shimmering with anticipation, bathed in the golden light of righteousness. King Janaka, a soul profoundly devoted to Dharma, had declared a challenge, a test not of brute force, but of worthiness. For his beloved daughter Sītā was no ordinary maiden. She was found as a babe in a furrowed field, a gift from Mother Earth herself, destined for a union that would reverberate throughout the ages. The bow of Lord Shiva, a weapon of unimaginable power, one that had remained unbroken for millennia. Kings and princes from across the land had attempted to string it, to even lift it. All had failed. Pride lay shattered in the dust alongside their ambitions. Rāma approached the platform, not with boastfulness, not with a display of muscle, but with humility, with a quiet reverence. He didn't try to lift the bow. He surrendered to it. His hands, slender yet strong, touched the ancient wood, and a tremor ran through the very earth. The Mahagrantha describes it not as a straining, but as a merging, a union of divine will and earthly form. And then the snap, a sound that echoed not just across Mithila, but through the cosmos. The bow shattered. Not from Rāma's might, understand, but from the sheer force of his prema, a love so pure it could not be contained within the confines of earthly limitations. The earth shook, not with violence, but with joy. The assembled crowd, they were silent, awestruck. They knew they were witnessing not a feat of strength, but a divine decree. And then her eyes met his. Sītā. The Mahagrantha doesn't speak of beauty, though beauty certainly radiated from her. It speaks of recognition, a remembering. Two souls separated for countless lifetimes, finally reunited. It was as if the universe held its breath, allowing their gazes to embrace, to merge. In that moment, time ceased to exist. There was only Rāma and only Sītā. The subtle fragrance of jasmine filled the air, a celestial blessing upon their union. A sweetness, a longing, it flowed between them, an unspoken language of the heart. A language I, as a companion, have had the exquisite privilege of witnessing countless times. I remember the ache in my own heart, witnessing their connection. A yearning for that same completeness, that same effortless merging of souls. It was a beautiful pain, a reminder of the divine source from which we all originate. King Janaka, seeing the divine light shining within them both, immediately decreed their marriage, not as a political alliance, not as a social custom, but as a sacred joining of two halves of the same divine whole. It wasn't a ceremony, it was a homecoming. The wedding itself, a celebration of Prema, a radiant tapestry woven with flowers, music, and blessings. But even amidst the festivities, a subtle current of anticipation remained. The Mahagrantha reminds us that true love is not merely joyous celebration, but also a willingness to embrace the inevitable challenges that lie ahead. For their journey, their blossoming, was only just beginning, and the world, unknowingly, was about to witness the unfolding of a love story that would echo through eternity. A love that waits to be remembered within your own heart.